Yeah, it's working.
Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate Sparty Podcast. Today I'm joined by former MSU running back Gerald Holmes. How's it going, Gerald?
Man, doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So let's just get it started with when did you fall in love with the game of football?
I would say probably fourth grade, man. Fourth grade would be exact.
All right. Was there like a specific person or reason that made you fall in love with the game?
Nah, man, my dad kind of, wanted to see at a young age, what sport would I gravitate to. So he had me play basketball and then had me play football. So I played basketball first, actually, in third grade, and football in the fourth grade. And football he seen that football came more natural. So that's kind of like what we put our energy into, what I'm saying, when it came to like training and stuff.
All right. Was your dad your trainer during that time, or did you have another trainer?
Yeah, my dad, what I'm saying, pretty much, was like the backbone to a lot of things.
All right. So did you start off playing any other position, or did you really start off playing running back?
I actually started off playing running back when I was playing like in youth league, played running back, and then I was growing faster than a lot of my people around. So like coaches, didn't really, somebody like middle school and high school coaches at one point didn't really see me as a running back because I was taller, and then I had to kind of like show them or get reps and show them like, hey, I'm a huge guy, but I can run the ball, and that's when it kind of took off. It was kind of frustrating at first because youth league was going great. When I got to middle school, I really didn't even play at all for real.
All right. So, was there a specific reason that you wanted to go to MSU?
Not really to be exact. The main thing for me, man, it was just they showed that they showed a little form of loyalty to me. I feel like where I was in high school, I actually got hurt, in a time while I was being recruited, and kind of basically anybody that was recruiting me kind of fell back. You know what I'm saying? I got hurt kind of my junior year it was, and couldn't really finish it. I finished the season, but I missed 5 games and didn't really have an impactful season. I came back and did what I did, a couple touchdowns and some good yardage, but it just wasn't enough to make college heads turn. So when Michigan State, kind of reached out and hey, like they wanted to offer me a scholarship, while I was hurt, that was kind of, that kind of made me realize, like, dang, y'all can go grab anybody. Y'all chose to, stick with me. So didn't really hear nothing back from the other schools, and I kind of knew it was right, so that I commit to Michigan State.
So you're saying they stuck with you, and is that something you like to take pride in whatever you do, like someone sticking with you?
Yeah, I just believe in, opportunities, man, like legit opportunities though, like not just, someone just, oh, that's what I can do, but like really like understand that, I'm a human or we are humans and, things happen. So, if given the opportunity and someone kindly give you a little more wiggle room to play or mess up, they can see the best, especially if you know what you're capable of and anything, so obviously at that point it was football. I felt like, I was a great athlete and someone who can be big one day, so I kind of looked at it like, hey, you guys offered me a scholarship and while I was hurt, that's not, sometimes people don't do that. And me knowing that, I didn't just do a crazy numbers, as a junior. It ain't like I was running out the country or whatever, so it kind of made me work even harder for one and understand that, I can, if I might as well keep grinding, doors are open no matter what.
So what was your first impression arriving on campus to MSU, or what was like the best part about realizing that you as an athlete is going to compete here at MSU for a running back job and eventually the starting running back position at Michigan State at D1 College?
You said what was more like, you want to repeat that again for me? Like, what was more like was a challenge, or how was it?
Like, what was the feeling like?
Shoot, man, getting there first was just kind of just, it was an amazing feeling, man. I looked at it like, come from Flint, Michigan, man, small city, poverty and with everything that kind of just goes around. So not the most beautiful thing to come from. So I looked at like, man, a big school like Michigan State, you know what I'm saying, opening doors for me. Getting there was like, yo, I got a different grind. That's just how I look. Everybody feel that way though. Everybody feel that way no matter where they come from. They feel like where they come from is the ultimate low point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no matter what state or city you come from. So I'm just another kid coming in feeling like, hey man, where I come from, you know what I'm saying, it's grit and I got that in me. So being there, man, it felt kind of surreal for a moment. I'm looking like, yo, like I remember being in high school, my dad told me like, man, you don't get no scholarship, but you got to stay in the city. Like you got to go to school and, so keep it here. And I didn't go nowhere far, it's only an hour away, but the fact that, my ability to run the ball and, what I'm saying, just my athletic ability was able to pay for my schooling. So being on campus, was, as a freshman was kind of amazing. And then, competing on a running back, it was another challenge because you come from playing in high school and, you getting all the carries, and, you kind of star guy and kind of like get to college and kind of starts over, so it's kind of like a wake up call at some point. It's like, oh snap, like I ain't the big dog no more. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to become the big dog again.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of piggybacking into another question. So you redshirted your true freshman year, right?
Yeah, yes.
So what was it like redshirting that first year and then having to compete with running backs like Jeremy Langford, LJ Scott, and Mondre London every day to try to be the best that you can be and to try to earn that starting position?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, it was frustrating, man. For real, it was, because it was kind of like, you go through a point where you're doing these things, you're grinding, figuring out that it's a lot more than just trying to be the best, then become the guy that start. It's a lot that, guys that a guy been there for 3-4 years, been doing this and oops, hold on. Oh, there you go. A guy who been there for 3-4 years, it's kind of like, dang, like no matter what I do, how can I get in front of him? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows a lot more. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the gym longer, all those things. But, it kind of hit when I was there, I'm like, man, bump all that. Like,
mm-hmm.
I'm one of the best, what I'm saying? I respect other players. So I'm one of the best and I can be that guy. So I knew I had to come out and I had to show them that I'm a bigger running back that can move. And they was used to big running backs, obviously, because of Le'Veon Bell. But, he's a little bit bigger than I was.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like I was like a middle back. And almost not super similar to Jim Langford, you know what I'm saying, but we was similar in height and similar in size, you know what I'm saying. Obviously his speed was way faster than mine, but I kind of knew that I could bring a bully style with some finesse, you know what I'm saying. I kind of showcased that a little bit throughout my career, you know what I'm saying, at Michigan State. So it was cool and kind of fun, you know what I'm saying, competing for a minute because, obviously Jim Langford was older, so he was more of just like, okay, what is it about this guy? I gotta, so what is it like? He's trying to study him, and then once at some point, like, yeah, that's his spot. You know what I'm saying? You become to kind of be a student of him, and then you get cool, and then now you start to just, rock out with the older guys. You know what I'm saying? It kind of starts not to be really a competition no more. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like just keep up.
So was there a mentorship factor in there? Like, what did those older running backs teach you during your freshman years?
And the biggest thing was be ready. I know Nick Hill. I don't know if you're familiar with Nick Hill from a while back. He basically was like, well, for one, I looked at all the running backs and seen, okay, what everybody had. I feel like James Langford was a good speed back. You know what I'm saying? We all was powerful, but his strength was, I feel like, was more speed, finesse. Then you had Goodell, you know what I'm saying, big body guy, obviously came in with me, you know what I'm saying, so I got to kind of grow with there. Then you had Nick Hill, was kind of more of your traditional running back, as far as height size, height and wise, you know what I'm saying, but also had good movement, quicks, and was kind of tough. So I kind of looked at all and seen like, what can I be or can I add from that? And I knew like trying to be a perfect balance, okay, be someone that can block and catch the ball and run and truck and do a juke move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things was from Nick Hill was telling me like, man, at the end of the day, because I was frustrated about not playing, as a freshman and a little bit as a redshirt freshman. I'm looking like, I'm coming here busting my butt every day, grinding. I'm doing the small things to get better. You know what I'm saying? I can do this and that. And one of his main things was like, man, at the end of the day, your opportunity gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Just when it come, you have to, let them know that why you belong to the field. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think Gerald Holmes be out here? So you got to do all these things so when your number is called, you can perform.
So is there a certain other running back or a certain football player in general who you model your game after?
For a while, man, it was who was it? It was Adrian Peterson in high school. It was AP until let's see, it was AP about probably my sophomore year in high school because I knew I wasn't getting number 28. Like in high school, I was number 28. They called me G28, the Bruiser, in high school. So I kind of modeled my game after him. But I thought he was a big back, and we was kind of getting to that realm where big backs were a thing. So we always had big backs, but I feel like they became more popular. Around that time and a few years before. Once I got to kind of stay, it kind of became like, okay, yeah, big backs, it can actually move now and do a lot more. So I kind of I was like, man, modeling the game after his speed, how he ran, the anger he ran with, you know what I'm saying? He had a mean stiff arm, so I tried to add that to my game. So he was like the main one. And then one of my kind of favorites that some people probably wouldn't even remember or think about is Joseph Adai.
Okay.
Joseph Adai for the Colts, man. I liked it, the way he moved, far as lateral. When you watch highlight, it kind of looked a little sloppy at times because he kind of was moving so fast, he stumbled over. But I think that the way he moved, I feel like I kind of added that a little bit in my game. So them were kind of like the two that I kind of really just like focused on, for a while I was coming up as an athlete.
So I'm picking up the fact that you take more pride in the like bully ball, so to say, like running over guys, than elusiveness and speed.
Yeah, you can say that. I think the older I got, I tried to mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Because it got to the point where like the hard bully running. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it makes you miss holes, or sometimes you be looking for that more. And you kind of could have missed. You could have made a cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's a body, taxing thing. So I know in college, even in high school it was a mix. I still was a mix, but people understood like, hey, Gerald Holmes, he's gonna lower the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really aim it as being like bully. I just knew like, okay, what a focus is that, if I gotta go head up with someone, I can offer that, I can bring that. You know what I'm saying? My main thing was not being one dimensional, because being a tall running back, someone can easily say, oh, you're too tall, I'll just go for your legs. And a lot of times playing against me and people who watch me kind of know like that's not the case. With, you know what I'm saying? With Gerald, it's like he know how to get low. You know what I'm saying? At 6'1", 6'2", you feel me? So that was kind of a big thing for me. Really, just kind of just being a balanced athlete, balanced running back.
So shifting more towards the MSU side of the things, what was like the most challenging but rewarding part about playing football for MSU?
Challenging but more rewarding. The challenging part, man, was, anybody who watched my career, it was just getting to the point where it was like, man, I'm not really getting what I thought I would get as far as, touches or like the stardom, that I believe and felt that I could reach, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of tough going in, doing what the coaches asked, you know what I'm saying? And then on the back end, not really getting the reward for it. Far as like, became a better blocker, you know what I'm saying? And still kind of like, get in the game, start the game, but get 1 or 2 carries, like 5 carries as a starter. Like that right there was frustrating, you know what I'm saying, for years, knowing the kind of athlete I was and the people seeing it, you know what I'm saying? But I think outside of all that, the biggest thing was the reward I would take out of that is that it made me like 10 times harder at like grinding. Like it made me more focused and locked in. Like
Mm-hmm.
it made me learn how to work with little. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When I can go in the game, you got some guys who got to warm up in the game, or they got to, get this to get that. Like I knew, okay, I might not get the ball that many times, but if I get this boy 3 times, you're gonna see it, you're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna remember it. So it kind of made me quick on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of things. Understanding that, hey man, you can do a lot, but might not get a lot. So now I knew every game I was going into, I had to come 100% off the first play. I couldn't come lazy or think like, oh yeah, I'm it's be a long game. No, I knew like right then and there, that first carry might be my last carry. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I think that was big. It made me back on my toes, man. It made me more alert.
So did you take pride in yourself, and do you right now take pride in working hard and like no days off and stay on the grind?
Yeah, man. It actually, just to be honest, with you and everybody that's listening and everything, is that man, when the whole football kind of slowed down, it kind of took a mental toll on me, man, because the work and effort I put into it, so I when it was slowing down and the phone was ringing, man, I kind of felt burnt out.
Okay.
Like wow, like dang, this is happening. So I took a break from a lot of like going to the gym, a lot of all that. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. It was kind of mentally draining, and a lot of other athletes can attest to that. Where it's like going cold turkey, man. We do this for years with no guarantees. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get there, and it's like, okay, I'm here, and then you fall short. It's frustrating on yourself because then I feel like I let people down, I let myself down, or I wasn't, I didn't uphold, what I thought I could. So for a minute, man, like 2019, 20, man, it was kind of rough. But when I kind of, shook it off, understood, like, hey, at the end of the day, man, I did everything I could do. You feel me? I feel like I gave my best, you know what I'm saying? I made it to the league. Even if I didn't make it there long, I was there, you know what I'm saying? My name still holds weight around. I got a good fan base, so I had to look at all the positives that came from that. And then I started putting that back in the air, like, okay, let me apply the same type of grind and mindset to what I want now, you know what I'm saying? Was that with me obviously doing the camera stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And it's still like not as easy, you know what I'm saying, with the camera world because how times is, but it's kind of tough when I'm going from playing football and all my pictures, videos, I'm posting on Instagram, it get a lot of interaction, and then I flip the script like, all right, guys, I'm not giving y'all that no more, you know what I'm saying? Which like 80% of my fan base, my followers on Instagram are, they were there for the athletics and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing my photography thing. It's like a lot went down. It's like, oh snap! Like, did I scare people away? Did I? So dealing with that was kind of just tough. But looking on the brighter side, it's just like, I did what I did. So I did what I could, and this is still another part of me. You know what I'm saying? We're doing photography, that. So cool with it.
Yeah. So you worked hard. You got the starting position in. Was it your junior year that you got that?
Yeah, was that the 2015 season? I know I started the last 7 games.
I believe so. So.
But then started a few throughout the last 2 years.
Yeah. So starting those games and like, did you ever think back before the games, pre-game, that, man, this is really paying off? All my work, all like the early morning weight lifts, all the early morning conditioning, all the early morning workouts is starting to pay off. And did that fuel you to keep going and make it to the NFL and the CFL?
Yeah, man. Them starts, man, played a big part because I knew it got to the point where I understood like what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I understood what was going on in my situation. At the end of the day, it was out of my control. So then I knew I grind as hard as I can. I get to start a job. That means a lot. Anybody off the street ain't just gonna start. You know what I'm saying? So when you start the game. So I got to look at it like, that was a big and took that as a win, So no matter what, is that okay? I gotta start, got never start, and just did my best what I could with it, and grind, hope and pray. You feel me? That it took me to the next level, and that the professional guys seen that, like seeing like, okay, this guy, he had this many starts. That must mean something, So yeah, I was, I kind of accepted it and just felt good about it. On what it, propelled me to.
Yes. So I have 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. And my first question is, being a big contributor of a rivalry game in where you guys beat Michigan, when you came in there as Michigan is a heavy favorite. It was a game similar to this year where Michigan was ranked in like the top 15 and we were not ranked. And being a big contributor during one of those games and actually coming out with a win, I'm assuming it feels one of the best feelings you've ever felt, actually beating those teams.
No, yeah, beating Michigan, was big when I came in as a freshman, 2013 season. I feel like I've been there for ages. You know what I'm saying? When we beat them, and I wasn't even playing, I was so excited. So no, it definitely was always a good feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To beat Michigan.
So I have one more question, and it's about your time in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So when you first got that phone call that you're signing with the Seahawks, right? Was that your first team?
Yep.
How did it feel? Like, was it like another one of those feelings like pregame before your starts that like really this work is paying off? All the work that you put in, all the conditioning that you put in, was that the feeling, or was it something else?
Shell, it was good. It was, the feeling. My bad. Repeat that question. Somebody distracted me.
Hey, you're fine. So when you first signed with the Seahawks, so when you first got that call, how did it feel? Did it feel like the same as it did in those pregame situations before your starts? That, man, this work is really paying off. That this early morning conditioning, early morning weightlifting, early morning workouts really paying off to get me where I am today.
Oh yeah, nah, that call for the Seahawks, man, felt way different, man. It was some people don't even know the story how it went down, and I don't mind sharing. So, in the NFL, you get one rookie minicamp, unless you get opportunities from the East Coast and West Coast. So I happen to have invites from the East Coast and West Coast. So I think I had like 5 teams. So I had the Colts, Seahawks, the Lions, Colts, Seahawks, Lions, the Giants, and I believe the Browns. So the tough part was choosing. Like, okay, how do I choose what team I'm going to or whatever? Like, so I had to kind of figure out, like, do this team need a running back? Do this team need that? Do this team need this? So the teams I didn't chosen to do the rookie minicamps were the Colts and the Seahawks. So I had the Seahawks first. Went there, did my thing, you know what I'm saying? And hey, we're going to be in contact with you. Same thing with the Colts, right? So so when I had got let go from both though in rookie minicamp. So when I got sent home with the Seahawks, I kind of was like, yo, like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? You definitely the coach thing. So I was at home for a hot minute and got a call, the first call, before I actually even signed, is that they called me. I remember just sitting down, chilling in my bed, kind of like, okay, well, I'm finna take a break off working out, I'm finna relax and chill. So I was laying down, got a call. I think I don't know if my agent called first or someone from the Seahawks called. But they called like, hey, Gerald, it's such and such. We looking to fly you out, like, saying today, like in 3 hours type deal. So I'm looking like, oh yeah, like, yeah, sure. They was like, yeah, man, we want to bring you up for workout. Nothing guaranteed. That's what they always say. So
yeah,
all right, bet. So I remember I was with my granny. Told my granny, like, hey, girl, I gotta go to the league. So I'm scrambling, pack my bag. Trying to find a ride to go to the airport because the airport they flying me out of was like an hour away from my home. So I'm like trying to find a ride to the airport. So got there and did my workout and everything. Not my workout, but did my little medical checkup and stuff. And I was in the hotel, they ended up sending me back. Like the next, I went in there for 24 hours to send me back home. They didn't work out, didn't unpack my bag or nothing.
Okay.
They was like, hey, we got to send you back home. Something came up. So now I'm kind of like, okay, that's weird. Like, what's going on? So now I'm back home. So when I got home this time, I'm a little more frustrated, and I'm at home longer. So now I'm at home like 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
So I'm looking like, dang, so I'm kind of working out, clamping in, figuring out what I'm finna do. Like, dang, trying to get a job. It's football over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The phone not ringing. And then I remember I was applying for Home Depot job, and I was like working out at the same time. And Home Depot had just told me like, yeah, we got an orientation up for this Friday coming up. And I'm saying, okay, cool, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, my agent called me while I was working out, and was like, hey, just like 2 or 3 months later, so it's like almost like, let me see, a little bit and before August, like preseason started in August.
Okay.
Agent called and was like, hey man, the Seahawks is going to give you a call. I said, what, Seahawks? Just 3 months later from the other call. So he like, yeah, he said they think about signing you, but they don't know if they want to bring you up for the game. To possibly play in the game or bring you up after. So just be on standby for the phone call. So phone call came, I was working out, got the call, and it was kind of like the same, the last phone call, but they were like, hey man, we're looking to sign you. Remember, obviously nothing is guaranteed, but I want to say that it's in your favor, like it's a little more in your favor for this time. So I'm looking like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm finishing my workout, and it's funny because I had to call Home Depot back, like, yo, this is Gerald Holmes. I can't make it to the orientation. I'm finna go back to the NFL. Like, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, sure, go ahead, no problem. So when I get out there, they end up getting me out there early because they wanted to play me in the game, like the first game.
Okay.
So I'm looking like, yo, so my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, I'm finna go play in the game. Like, I ain't played football in months, you know what I'm saying, since 2017, December, bowl game. So I'm looking like, okay, well, hey, if I got to play the game, I got to play. I ain't going to complain. Get out there, do a medical. And this is when I knew something good was going to happen when they took me to do my medical. It's the other running backs there for the tryout.
Okay.
But they took me and they had me do all my stuff first, and they had me ride in my own truck, you know what I'm saying, to the stadium. So now I'm by myself. So they got me to the thing like, yeah, they're like, yo, hurry, get you out here. I get dressed, do my workout. Coach P. Carroll, man, I'm talking about my workout probably like 5 minutes long. P. Carroll shook my hand like, hey, man, welcome to the Seahawks. Just want to make sure you're still alive. So right there, I'm looking like, well, like everybody was happy for wanting to see me when I first got in there. So that was good. It was my third time back in with the Seahawks in that summer. So everybody was kind of like familiar with me, you know, so happy to see me and everything. And,
yeah.
Right there, man, is when I realized, like, yo, I'm in the NFL. Like, that was the craziest moment, like, the best feeling ever.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And go green.
No, go green, man. Appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep, you have a